Now that Leo's had his bag lady Sue Jerry popped, uh, we're going to bring him in and talk to Leo a little bit, learn about Leo, who I know him as Leo. A lot of people know him as Doc, uh, retired Army medic. And as soon as the screens come up here, um, you'll get to see his face. And just warning you now, it's not as pretty as Bag Lady Sue's face.
Definitely not.
I think he might even have some shrapnel he's carrying around in his face, and so that adds to the character over there.
That's what we call a character.
I've known you, I don't know, 8, 9 years now, something like that.
Yeah, we're going on a decade.
When you start working, and I've known someone, and you start 10 years, 20 years, it blows your mind a little bit. But I've known you to be a giving person. I've known you to be a person that salt of the earth, give the shirt off his back for somebody. I'm going to ask you, if you would please give us a little bit of your background, going in, when you enlisted, all that good stuff.
So I grew up here in the Quad Cities after being adopted by my folks. So going on about almost 40 years now. I've been in Quad City, and I guess you could call it. Right after 9/11. I didn't have like this overwhelming patriotic urge to join and go to war. I was just really broke, and me and my wife were trying to figure things out. And I'm third generation military, so my grandfather and my father were both in the Army, and I really kind of felt that calling, and I decided to join up. I tried to join the Air Force, but my credit wasn't good enough. I didn't even think about the Marines. They're just too crazy for me. And then I was going to join the Navy, and they were out to lunch. So the only guys in the building were the Army guys, and that's how I joined the Army.
The Navy's lost, right?
Yeah, that's right. I could have been a seaman.
I heard you say earlier when I was talking with Bags and asking about you, your regiment, what group you ended up in.
So I signed this big contract to go to Europe, and I was supposed to be with the 5th Corps in Heidelberg as a hospital medic. And when I got there, the invasion was getting ready to start for Iraq the first time, and one of the infantry units put their orders up for medics to come to them, and that's when I joined the famed 1st Infantry Division. It's a really weird day because I'm sitting in the bus stop waiting to go to 5th Corps to my cushy hospital job, and they're like, "Oh, no, buddy, we're getting ready to go to war, so you're going to be going with the 1st Infantry Division." And I'd always looked at the 1st Infantry Division as these gods among men. When I was in AIT, there was a soldier that was reclassing or becoming a medic, and he had the 1st Infantry Division patch on, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, that guy's like a superhero." So when I finally did realize, what direction my life was going, it was pretty amazing, I guess. And then getting the call up to be an actual infantry medic was even better. So I did 4 combat tours as an infantry medic in Iraq and just about everywhere, and just a lot of life.
A lot of life compacted in probably a really short time.
Yeah, but so I served for about 10 years, 4 combat deployments with 1st Infantry, the 2nd Infantry, the 3rd Infantry, and the 4th Infantry Division. So I got the 1, 2, 3, 4.
And I talk about being in the 1% Club. Purple Hearts, and I say it plural. Can you tell us a little bit about, if it's okay to share?
Well, the first time they hit me, and the second time I was too slow to duck. So it was just the enemy marksmanship badge. They're really good. I mean, the guys that I was fighting against, they had really good aim.
Well, they're fighting against us, so I wouldn't expect anything less trying to go after you all.
So my first burglar was just a really bad day. Everything that could happen bad happened bad. We were guarding a police station during the elections, and that's why I take such pride in voting in the elections that we have here, because I literally protected people that were risking their life to vote. And so I always take it very seriously this time of year, making sure everybody gets out and votes. Whether you're Republican or Democrat doesn't matter to me. Just the fact that you get out and vote is the most important thing. So we were protecting a polling spot, and they started dropping bombs on us. And I think there's about 17 guys that got wounded, and I was just running back and forth, and my squad leader heard the whistle coming in, the deadly whistle, and he tackled me into the back of a vehicle that was right by us, and that's how I got injured the first time, was a shrapnel washout. The shrapnel came through the vehicle, but we were kind of on the ground, so I'm still here for after that.
Too stubborn to die.
Too stubborn. Yeah, definitely. The second time around was a little bit more traumatic, and I don't like getting into that one too much.
Okay.
So.
Okay, I respect that. Because one of the reasons why I wanted you to come in and talk to us is you have taken the lemons, and I see you making lemonade.
With a lot of vodka.
Doing shots, baby, all the way, lemon shots. But yeah, he's in whatever might be going on with him. He's still offering to help somebody else with whatever they may have going on, whether it's New Year's Eve. He's offering to give people rides home if they've had too much to drink. Someone has a crisis, call him anytime, a mental health crisis. And so in spite of, or because of what he's been through, I just see him always helping and even continuing, even though you're retired in the military, serving people. And mental health is one of the things that you've had to deal with, not just with yourself, but with some of the other veterans.
Yeah.
And it's huge right now. It has been huge for a while, but it seems like in the last couple of years, the number of veterans committing suicide has increased past the 22 a day. I don't have the numbers. I don't have a scientific study, but I know what I see and what I feel. And I feel like it's increased. And so you're on the front line of mental health. Can you spend a minute or two before we talk about Out to Eat with Leo?
Yeah.
And just talk about that a little bit.
So I've done everything the wrong way. And that's just been part of my journey is doing things the wrong way. For years, I stayed away from any kind of depression medicine or any kind of anxiety medicine or any of the antipsychotics and things like that. I just stayed away from it because I didn't think it would help me. And then I never went to therapy with any kind of therapy, and I just had an attitude about it. So I did everything wrong. We'll just get that out of the way. And then I started seeing guys that I went to war with that were losing that battle, either with drugs or alcohol, or a couple of them that did take their own lives. And it's like, I spent all those deployments, and I brought everybody home. And now that we're home, we're losing more to stuff like that than we ever did fighting in some of the worst areas in Iraq. So I kind of just started doing what I could here and there, and that blew up a little bit, and I started taking care of more vets and anybody I could that was reaching out, and it's such a hard thing to do, to reach out at the end of the day, because in the military they teach you how to survive, and usually it's a hard pill to swallow to ask somebody to help you.
I think we can relate to that. And we aren't testosterone filled, and helpers find it hard to ask for help. And that's why it's important that we have this conversation. Conversations with friends over coffee, and yes, there's some cookies.
Well, my grandfather was World War II, and he went through the Horn of Africa all the way into Berlin.
Wow.
As a tank driver. He saw some of the worst combat you can think of, had a Silver Star, and I didn't know any of that until after he passed away. He shared just a couple little tiny stories with me, but that was it. And then when I saw his records and the awards that he received, it's like he was in some serious stuff. Then same with my biological father. He was a ranger, and a lot of his stuff was redacted. And the awards that he got, they never shared their military career with me. They kept it, packed away and hidden. And I wish I knew those things. So telling my story, or telling stories of my service, is a way that my kids can know what I went through. But it's also a way, when I put that out there, it's a way that other veterans can connect with me. And it's such an important thing to do, to connect with other veterans. War is terrible. But anybody that's been deployed or been on a combat deployment will tell you that it's like, 3 hours of holy shit, and then 21 hours of playing cards and telling jokes. And that 21 hours, that's kind of like what I like to share with people, is what I was doing when I wasn't in the bad portion of it. And it helps you connect really with veterans that are going through shit. So it's always been how I connect with guys and tell my story and help them kind of break out of that shell that they're in.
And using humor is definitely one of the ways that you've shared your stories. And so, Kelly, I'm going to let you take over at this point and talk about his Out to Eat with Leo page and how that all works.
Yes, and I just want to comment that you are so sweet. And, sitting here, you're a bigger guy with tattoos and stuff, and you just never know, but you're wonderful. Tell me about your shirt. I know a little bit about it.
So over this summer, and people that follow my page know about this. My daughter had oral surgery to replace her smile. She's being bullied pretty bad, and kids are just making it hell on her. So a way for us to pay for the procedure that she was going through was Fat Dad's Custom Designs. It's a t-shirt company here in the Quad Cities. They reached out to me and they're like, "Hey, let's do some t-shirts or some of your some art from your daughter." And that's kind of where the whole premise of You Can Sit With Me, because my daughter was going to school and her hardest part of her day was going to lunch, and she didn't want to eat with anybody because they would see her smile when she was eating. And
which her teeth got broke out being bullied at school.
Yeah,
boys tripped her.
Ironically, that's how her smile got messed up. She's on the playground. She got tripped, and when she fell, she hit the front of her mouth, and it cracked her front teeth.
And then they bullied her for that afterwards.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my goodness.
So it's just
What
like this
in the
thing that just
world?
spiraled, and we're a small family, a big family, but a small family. So we have 4 other kids, and getting everything taken care of in a timely manner was kind of hard. And then 2020 came, so yeah, everybody just wore a mask all the time, and we kind of put it off a little bit, hoping that we could.
How old was she when this happened?
She was, I think, 13.
Oh my gosh.
So between 13 and 14, the bullying just got so terrible, and then 15, when she finally went back to school, it was just a nightmare for her.
Oh,
So we started the "You Can Sit With Me" campaign, which was T-shirts to sell.
that is so awesome.
Yeah, because she was
And she drew
no
the
matter
picture.
She drew it,
Yeah,
yep.
she drew it.
Good for her.
So
Wow.
no
She's a
matter
great artist.
no matter what was going on, or like anybody else that was in a bad spot, she would always invite people to sit with her at lunch because nobody else would sit with her. So that's kind of where it was born from. Because no matter how bad she's being bullied, she still was
Maybe
reaching
she'll be a
out.
public speaker someday in the schools.
She wants to be a baker, so.
A baker? Okay, well.
Right now she's a confectioner. So we made honey candy yesterday.
Oh, that sounds great. Where's mine?
Well, it didn't turn out too well, so we're working on it. But yeah, so that's the T-shirt thing was a big part. We're gonna be bringing them back here hopefully pretty soon.
Yeah,
To
nice.
do another round of T-shirt sales.
Good for her to come around like still strong and on top at 16 years old. That's a big deal.
Yeah, she's an Amazon. That's what I like to call her.
That's awesome.
She's like 6'2", and she'd probably kick my butt. So,
And she has her smile.
and she has her smile now.
Good.
I can't get her to take a selfie. She still won't take a selfie and put a smile on it, but we'll get there.
Yep. Baby steps.
Yeah.
So the Out to Eat with Leo page, how did that? I know how it came about, so I'm going to let you tell us.
So everything started with the pandemic. There was another food page with Quad City group started, so restaurants could put their to-go stuff on, so local businesses could stay open. And I kept seeing all these, like, everybody putting their stuff up, and then you get like a little. Me and my wife, we always look at reviews before we go somewhere. And one of the things that you see when you go to these restaurants is like you'll have like a one-line sentence like, "Oh, it's good," or "amazing sandwich," or something like that. It doesn't like catch your eye. But then you have people that will write these, paragraph-long reviews about how bad it was.
Always.
Even if it's like nothing. Like this lady complained that she had to wait 15 minutes, and it's like a 6 paragraphs in, like just review, and at the end of it, it's like, oh, really? The only thing that was bad was you had to wait 15 minutes? Come on.
I was that lady.
Yeah, probably. So
Don't be a Karen.
yeah, don't be a Karen. I went to Tap 22, it's a spot in Silvis. I got a burger, and I just put up this ridiculous review. And it had such an effect on people that they were laughing and having a good time with it. And the business I hope they got a lot of business from it. Nobody really tells me how well they do after I've been there. But it just got a ton of traction. So it's like, you know what, if I can do that for another restaurant, so I'd go somewhere, write a whole crazy review, and then I just, I kind of kept going with that, and that's how my page got started. Was a lot of people convinced me, hey, you should just do your own page, and so that was almost 3 years ago now that I started Out to Eat with Leo.
And that was during the pandemic, so you had businesses shutting down, businesses locked up,
Yeah.
shuttered, but you helped promote restaurants, local restaurants. I mean,
Yeah, and I've made it this point that just local. I have my tips with Arby's and Burger King. And
they closed too early.
Yeah, they closed way too early. They stopped serving spicy chickens after 8 o'clock.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
That's a thing.
Tangent.
It's terrible.
Ask him about macaroni and cheese on a burger.
Oh my god.
I don't understand the whole chicken thing
That's
after.
a whole podcast. Well, yeah, so Burger King, I used to work third shift. So every night when I would go to work, I'd stop at Burger King trying to get the spicy chicken sandwich. And the lady's like, I'm sorry, we don't serve them after 8 o'clock.
What? Why?
Yeah, so I was like, you know what? This is going to be a thing for me now. So every night for like 2 or 3 weeks straight, I'd stop and ask for a spicy chicken sandwich. And I was like, one of these days they're going to have one. And props to them, they never had a spicy chicken sandwich after 8 o'clock.
Why? I still don't get it.
It became a challenge for him.
We're getting that spicy chicken after
It was kind
8.
of a challenge, but it was also like, you know what? I need to make sure there's order in the chaos of them not serving.
I just
a
don't
spicy chicken
understand.
sandwich.
Do they not serve other things after 8 too, or is it just the spicy chicken?
You know, I don't know because I only ever asked for the spicy chicken.
Oh man, I gotta know this.
She's going to be driving through later
It's
today
so
at 8:05 trying to get
legit,
it.
that
What
is
don't
so
you
weird.
have?
Why? Will their
Ask him-
belly hurt after they eat it after 8? I don't get
Ask
it.
him about mac and cheese on a burger.
Okay, mac and cheese and a burger.
All right, so
Set.
oh my gosh, you just had to open that.
I
bag.
did. That's a see set.
Snake.
So there's certain things that go on a burger, okay, and meals are not. You can't put a meal on top of a meal. That's mac and cheese is a main. It can be a side, but it's also a main. And you can't put a side on a main.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I don't
Well,
get
I'm sorry, you can put a main on a main, but I just messed it up. I'm sorry. You can't
More
put
coffee?
You can't. Yeah, I think of it too much because I have a whole bunch of Jim Beam in here. You can't put a main on a main. You can put a side on a main, but if that side is also a main, you can't put it on the main.
Okay.
So that's
Follow that logic.
That's the rules.
This is when you spend too much time in the desert.
Yeah,
I am getting the gist of this.
Yeah.
Macaroni and cheese on a burger, you do or do not like though.
Do not.
Okay,
It's
it
terrible.
doesn't sound good.
It's a weird consistency.
I love chili mac. Chili mac is a wonderful thing. So how
Well,
is
that's
it?
combining two mains.
I gotta say this: the consistency
They're in a
thing.
bowl.
That's what freaks me out.
The bowl makes the difference.
Yeah, the bowl makes a difference.
I don't like my food
Using the
touching.
spoon. It's all in the spoon.
You just kind of messed me up with the chili mac thing. That's God bless it.
It's Chicagoland. We like the chili mac. We
I
can't
know,
help it.
right?
But yes, I crossed over to Iowa a couple of years ago, and I'm on this side of the bridge now.
Yeah, you're lucky.
I am.
No, it's just a weird consistency. And when restaurants call it like a gourmet burger, and it's because they put literally like 6 cents worth of Kraft mac and cheese on it, and then they upcharge you like $3. That's some bullshit. Can I say bullshit? Yeah, I can say bullshit.
Yeah, tell us about Double D's, right? Kelly wants to know about Double D's.
Double D's.
Double D's are awesome.
I wouldn't
meant the
know.
restaurant.
I wouldn't
the
know. Thanks, Leah.
Oh,
The diner.
The
The
restaurant.
diner.
Thanks, Leah.
We did get bags to. Never mind. She's
Double
not
D's
Double
Diner
D's, but-
is excellent as well. I don't get there enough. They have a really good breakfast burrito. That's another thing.
But you wrote a review that like launched you. We talked Karen's a second ago. You woke up a few Karens. You poked the Karen.
So if you go to my page, Out to Eat with Leo, you'll see there's probably like 2 posts down. There's a review for Double D's Diner, and it's talking about juicy breast sandwiches or chicken breast sandwiches. Sorry. And there's just there's nothing better than having a mouthful of chicken breast in your mouth, or a handful, because you gotta have a big handful. Like, okay.
Didn't you order a double?
You got to order 2. One
One
is
for
kind of.
Chad.
I mean, one Double D is okay. I mean, it's all you really need. But
You remind me of a friend of mine who did lose a limb. He only had one hand, and he said the only problem he had with only having one hand was his girlfriend had 2 breasts and 2 butt cheeks, and he couldn't grab them both at the same time.
that's terrible.
Otherwise, he was like,
Yeah, it's terrible. That's a buzzkill, Cheryl. Got it.
I'm sorry. Shout out to my friend in McNabb, Illinois.
Give the man a hand.
And this is why we love Leo. Out to eat with Leo. Is there anything else? Any other questions you have? Or
Leo, I
anything you
think
wanna
we
cover?
all need to go out to eat together sometime. I gotta see this.
I always say don't meet your heroes because when I go out to eat, lately it's been terrible because I'm such a food snob now.
Oh.
What's your favorite food?
My favorite food is probably just anything that's spicy, and nobody has anything spicy.
No, I mean that darn chicken spicy sandwich. We need to get that back for you.
He likes spicy.
I love spicy food.
So spicy.
Nobody in the Quad Cities has spicy anymore.
Interesting. You know that?
A lot of
I have
restaurants.
to think about that. I was going to say Gypsy Highway.
I
his
mean, we
wife,
got some
mean,
spicy
she's-
Thai food.
So a lot of the restaurants are catering to the Midwest retired community. So I
Rudy's Tacos.
listen. Rudy's is an anomaly. Like I don't know how they survive anything.
So
just have
there's
a-
a
they have
couple
a-
that are good, and then there's a couple that aren't so good.
I say they are more urban Americanized than Chi-Chi's.
They have a cult following. That's the thing.
I don't understand it.
Like,
But I am going to go to Mexico when I retire
I
and open
love-
up a place
I-
on the beach
Wait
called
a minute.
Boobies.
I still order Rudy's. Wait, what?
you're in the Rudy's cult.
What does that mean?
Like every taco I get from there has like 19 pounds of cheese on it.
Yes, I love cheese.
You're
Super
just,
addictive. Yep, it's all about
I
the
order
cheese.
extra cheese.
Oh, she does extra cheese at Rudy's. Really?
I do.
So you don't like Mexican food. You just like cheese.
I love Mexican food.
No, well if it's Rudy's,
even
you
on
just like
my
cheese.
even on my real Mexican tacos that doesn't really have cheese, I ask for cheese too.
Yeah.
So where are you on Happy Joe's Taco Pizza?
That's my favorite, hands down. They know my voice when I call.
You gotta find. See,
Take her out to
Wait,
eat, Leo.
Taco
I force
Supreme.
myself to go to like so many different restaurants. I find the best.
You know what though? If you go to okay, so I lived in Washington for a little bit. They didn't even know what a taco pizza was. They didn't even know.
It's a Midwest thing.
I mean, I feel like we need to teach them. They might become millionaires someday.
I asked.
Seattle, are you listening?
And then Florida's too,
Yeah.
you know?
I asked for one in
Florida,
Florida,
you're
and
listening.
I was trying to. They're like, "What is a taco pizza?" And I'm trying to explain it to them.
I don't understand how they don't know.
I love a macaroni and cheese pizza.
Can I tell you, when I was in
Get
Seattle,
out of here right now.
my
Leave.
best friend sent me to Seattle 2 Happy Joe's Taco Supremes over dry ice, $100 a piece on my birthday.
Wow.
Because I had like Facebook statuses daily that was like, I miss my taco pizza.
Happy Joe thanks you.
Yeah.
All right, we're finishing the end of our time. Want to thank everybody for showing up today, episode 2.
And thank you for your services.
Yes, it is Veterans Day,
Thank you for
day
your
after
support.
tomorrow, the 11th. So yes, everybody, remember to thank the veterans. I know Mission Barbecue has free on Veterans Day. I don't know if they're a bigger restaurant or not. Which ones are you going to visit on Veterans Day?
I'm one of the guys that doesn't go out to eat for Veterans Day. Like I really appreciate all the restaurants and everybody, like local restaurants are really getting on board with it, and I think that's really cool. But personally, I'm not one of those guys that goes out and does that. I just
There is no free meal?
no. Well, it's just more of a personal thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Well,
not
that's
a
okay.
hero either, just so you know.
Yeah.
Nope.
He doesn't. Nope.
So we won't even go there. He is certainly not a 0, so we'll just take the Z, put the H in there, and not say anything.
I'm top 12. Like top 12.
Okay. I'll let you get away with
Okay.
that.
There we go.
So thank you for joining us in episode 3 next week. Same time, same place. Hump Day Nooners with Cheryl.
And Kelly.
We hope you guys have a great day today. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Bag Lady Sue. Thank you, Leo. Happy Veterans Day to all of our veterans. You all rock.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, everybody. And now we get to wait for Sunny to tell us we're out before we actually go, hey, are we done? Hey, we did it.
Rudy's, if you're still listening, I'm sorry.
Rudy's, if you're listening.